Hello YouTube, and on today's video I figured I'd just share with you all my top 5 favorite video game consoles of all time. And the reason why I decided to do this is just because it seemed like fun and everything. I saw some other people doing this and it just seemed like a fun video to make. So I'm going to show you guys my 5 favorite consoles and my favorite games for those consoles as well. So in at number 5, we have the PlayStation 1. I love collecting for the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 is such a weird system. It's got so many obscure and weird games, but so many really fun just gems on the system. And right here, you guys are seeing Mega Man Legends. This is my favorite game for the system. I really love this game. It's a action RPG. It's a lot of fun. And that's the best way how I would describe the PS1 is that some of the games haven't aged well, but they're a lot of fun. And that's why I like it so much. It's just a really cool, quirky little system, and it's just a good system. So in at number 4, we have the Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS is the only system here on this list that I can say I have played like from childhood to modern time and everything. Like I've never taken a break from the system, if that makes sense. Like all these other systems, there's been a couple months or a couple years where I haven't played a game on any of them. Well, the DS, like I've always played Nintendo DS games, and so it has to be on the top 5 and everything. The Nintendo DS is one of the few systems that I'd say like there's very few uninteresting games on it. Like there's a ton of shovelware on the DS, but some of that shovelware is really interesting. Like there's a Japanese language simulation shovelware game on the Nintendo DS, which is really crazy when you think about it. And right here, I'm holding up The World Ends With You. This is my favorite Nintendo DS game. This game's so fantastic, you guys. And the Nintendo DS is just a great system. Like, ever since I got one in 2005, 2006, I was just completely enamored with it, and I've loved it ever since. Just so fantastic. I love the Nintendo DS. So in at number 3, we have the GameCube, the Nintendo GameCube. So this is a weird one because I really like the GameCube as a system. I really love the game library and everything, but I don't have the biggest GameCube collection. I think I have around 30 or 40, maybe 50 games for it. The reason why is because the GameCube is kind of expensive to collect for. It's kind of like the Super Nintendo of the PS2 and Xbox generation. It's just the GameCube versions of games tend to be the most expensive, and they're not normally the best versions, honestly speaking. So I tend to just pick up the counterpart PS2 version, but still, I love the GameCube. I love the GameCube controller. I love the stupid little handle it has on the system and everything. My favorite game for the GameCube is Mario Sunshine. This game is so incredible. I played through it on stream last year. And the GameCube is just a really good system that I have really fond memories of. And in my opinion, most of the games on it hold up fairly well. There's still a couple stinkers, you know, some stuff like a couple of the Medal of Honor games don't hold up well. Just stuff you would expect not to hold up doesn't hold up as well as you would expect it to. But still, nonetheless, a bulk of the first-party Nintendo games hold up very well, and it's the GameCube. It's just a great system. So then at number 2 is the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2, if I were just picking a system, like if I was on a desert island and I could only ever have one video game system with me for the rest of the time, I would pick the PS2. Honestly speaking, because the PS2 has so many good games. Like the PS2, I think, has 1,800 games, and I'm willing to say of that library, like 400, 500 of them are like at the bare minimum pretty decent. Okay, the PS2 has so many flipping games on it, and it also has my all-time favorite game. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite game of all time. I love this game, and it's like Kingdom Hearts 2 is like a perfect example of like the PS2 to me, because it's like it takes everything that makes that console generation really great and just cranks it up another notch, you know? The PS2 is just really fantastic. I love the PS2, and I think I always have. Like, it was my first game system from the GameCube, PS2, Xbox era. It was my first one of those, and I just have so many fond memories of it. I got it when I was pretty young, so I was like the perfect age to get one, and it's just such a great system, you guys. Like look behind me. There's two massive stack rows of PS2 games, and I'm still buying more of them. Like, there's still more PS2 games I want to buy. So the PS2 is number 2. So number 1, my all-time favorite game system is the Sega Dreamcast, and I'm holding up Skies of Arcadia because Skies of Arcadia is my favorite Dreamcast game. So the Dreamcast is really interesting because I didn't have one, believe it or not, I didn't have one when I was younger at all. I didn't get a Dreamcast until I was around 13 or 14, and it was the first ever retro game system that I went out of the way to buy and everything. I remember my dad drove like 20 miles or something crazy like that to pick up a Dreamcast for me off from some dude off Craigslist and everything. And as soon as I got one, I was just completely enamored with the thing. Like, I would go to flea markets and game stores and everything like that, just picking up as many games for it as I could, as you can as a child, you know, as a young boy can without a job. And I was just so enamored with it. Like, it was such a fun system, and it always had this enigma to it. The Dreamcast, in my opinion, is a very enigmatic system because it's like the last gamer's system, you know. It's the last system that was really built just to play video games. That's it. I would argue the GameCube had a bit of the same mentality, but I would say that the GameCube didn't have as unique of a library as the Dreamcast. That's another thing, is the Dreamcast has, in my opinion, like the most diverse video game library. Like stuff like Jet Grind Radio, Phantasy Star Online, Skies Arcadia, Sonic Adventure, Shenmue, you know, just crazy off-the-wall stuff that you would never see on any other system. Like a AAA game on the Dreamcast was like Jet Grind Radio, and then a AAA game on like original Xbox was like Halo, you know. It's like that, just stuff you would never see before or after it. And I love the Dreamcast because of that, and I've always loved it ever since I got one back in the day, I suppose. Man, 2006 is 13 years ago. I feel so old now. So yeah, so the Dreamcast is my all-time favorite system. I'm getting really close to completing my set. That probably doesn't surprise anybody. I've got about 20 more games to go, you guys. And so that's my 5 all-time favorite video game systems, and my 5 favorite games for those systems as well. Take note, this isn't like my 5 favorite games all time. I'll do a separate video for that. But until next time, you guys, if you want to see consoles 6 through 10, where those would place up on the, just let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful day, YouTube, and peace.